Welcome to Through the Table Podcast with Brian, JL, Tom, Rick, and Russ.
So speaking of Rampage, I don't think we talked about because we were the friggin' no, we did talk about it. The street fight from last week, or the no holds barred with the women, and everybody was bleeding buckets.
Well, we mentioned it that it was
right
because we taped it the night before, saying
that's
that
right.
It was quite a bloody mess, and I sent a couple of pictures, but we never
That's
actually
right.
saw it. We hadn't seen it yet.
I still haven't seen it.
You should go out
they
of
were
your way.
all out.
Fantastic.
Oh yeah,
That might have been one of the best hardcore matches I've seen in a couple of decades. I mean, that's like old school ECW good.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, they went all out.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
And
I mean, for
the
a company,
the blade showed Bunny how to bleed.
Yep. Oh, she looked fantastic. Holy crap.
See, she got the t-shirt treatment too.
He did. Yep. And I guess it's one of the top 10 sellers this past week.
Seems about right.
And she came in not as an individual contributor. She came in as the kind of like the manager of the Blade and the Butcher. And now she
is
like,
the bladed butcher.
she's like doing her own thing and working, and like you said, in the top 10 of merch sales.
Yep. And then we given her a lot of TV time over the last 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
I mean, she was in Impact for years, but so she knows how to wrestle. It's just they really never gave her much of a shot in AEW until recently.
Remember when they killed her in Impact?
Yeah, right.
She actually died.
Yep.
That's how they wrote her off.
Right, exactly.
She died.
She was dead. Yep.
That's one way to do it.
It's not the first person they've killed. It won't be the last. I think Ethan Page was killed too.
Didn't Johnny Swinger die too? Right? Or
But he
something
came
like
back.
that?
Yeah.
Came back from the dead.
Yep. He came back.
Jesus Christ, JL, why do you watch this?
He was doing the Weekend at Bernie's thing with them. They thought he was, they were carrying him around,
funny.
and all of a sudden he just like, hey, what's going on? I was taking a nap. Like, what?
Stupid.
Like 4 years?
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, that hardcore match was unbelievable. Great watch.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely great watch. Completely worth it.
They went all out.
One thing I thought was kind of funny though was the finish, and you have Anna Jay with like all the ass meat out, and she just sits right down in the biggest pile of thumbtacks, and I'm like,
Oh yeah.
oh my god,
Yeah. What about the
Plastic barbed wire around her arm?
No, I was the moonsault onto Tay Conti on the table.
Oh, yeah.
And she missed.
Yeah.
And basically got her in the collarbone and the neck area here, and like full brunt of her knee went right into it.
Yep.
And that looked painful.
And then she got Conti got her brain scrambled on that package pile driver off the apron through the table, and the table folded up to smack her right in the back of the head. That match was just, it was brutal. That was
It was.
It's I mean, it's kind of funny because the old school fans are like, well, that's not I mean, women shouldn't be doing that. It's not special, like, because if women are doing it, it's whatever.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, why not? You know what I mean? Like,
why shouldn't they be allowed to?
That's the real women's revolution right there.
Yeah, if they can do it, do it.
Yeah.
That's the real women's revolution. You're not seeing that anywhere else. You're seeing these women beating the absolute crap out of each other and blading and taking all these thumbtacks and all this other stuff. That's what it's supposed to be about, right? The women's revolution is everyone's supposed to be on an equal playing field. Right. So why can't we see the women doing this?
They should be, right? Exactly.
And at the same time, it's not like it happens all the time.
Yeah, they don't do it every week, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's so far they've done it twice, and both times are just like blow offs to the feud.
And their top 2 women's matches probably that they've had.
And I mean, I don't see why they can't go out there. I mean, why can't women can hate each other just as much as men can hate themselves, and it's just, I think it was excellent. I mean, it's really, it does hide some of the because, I mean, all 4 of them aren't the best workers, you know what I mean? So like the hardcore match kind of like lets you hide some of their faults.
Right.
But at the same time,
they play to their strengths. You don't have to have a match where it goes 10 minutes and you can't do a couple of things and it seems more noticeable there. Just pick something up and hit them,
That's it, yeah.
Exactly.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Hoovy Wrestler of the Week. I know you've been waiting very patiently the last few episodes, but finally it's here. So I wanted to give a shout out to who else? Mickie James. She's in the WWE Royal Rumble. She's at Impact. She's an executive at NWA, and she's a 2-time winner. She obviously deserves to be in all these places. She's really great, and I am happy for her. So, anybody have any questions? Send us a letter or send us an email. Anyway, that's about it. So, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!
Wow.
They just look preoccupied.
Sorry, they just announced the field for the Women's Royal Rumble. And it's basically like, for the most part, it's like
they only have like 8 active women though.
Yeah, and then the rest is like Lita, Trish Stratus, Summer Rae is coming back for it.
Goodness.
Oh wow.
Basically, they're getting everybody who was on the roster 20 years ago and bringing them back in because they released everybody.
Tori Wilson, Kelly Kelly.
Yep.
Molly Holly.
Yep.
Molly has to be. She works there, so.
Yeah.
No surprises if they leave any openings. They always leave a couple.
It looked like they only announced about 20 or so.
Oh, okay.
There is a lot of not on the current active roster that are in it.
Any NXT ladies I call up or not for it?
They didn't announce that. They just showed current actual roster and a lot of people who are not.
Sure. I was just curious if there's a whole bunch of NXT people that are kind of in. No one knows what's up with them.
So what happens when you release your entire roster and realize, oh crap, we have to have at least 30 women in this thing.
Right.
They need a released Royal Rumble in some other organization.
Everyone has their own version, it seems. In some
with
way.
all the released people, it'd be awesome.
As I was saying last night, GCW would definitely do that. They bring the people in just for one night. AEW probably wouldn't want to do that because they'd be like, oh, you're just making a mockery of it. GCW wouldn't care. Plus, they would sell pay-per-view if you announce all those people,
Yeah, it'd be crazy.
And they would probably have it as intergender, so it'd be both women and men in it because they do all the intergender matches. So you'd have just a big field of people for it. I wouldn't be shocked if they did something like that for the Hammerstein Ballroom show.
That'd be cool.
Johnny Knoxville just qualified for the Royal Rumble.
He announced because the new Jackass movie comes out a week afterwards.
But they have a qualification for it. All he said is that I'm in it on Instagram this week.
Sami Zayn out.
WWE
said, "See you there."
Oh,
they just posted apparently a video of him looks like he eliminated Sami Zayn for something.
Yeah, he showed up tonight. Sami
Oh,
Zayn lost his match against Rick Boogs. Knoxville comes in and throws Sami Zayn out of the ring, and that allowed him to qualify for it.
Of course it does.
because he's going to put asses in seats.
I mean,
Now-
what's that going to do?
Nothing.
He's just going to
Promote his movie.
right.
And
I
that's
say have
about
him
it.
win it.
I'm sure they'll throw him over the top rope, and he'll get like.
He'll do something crazy,
What, take a big bump from almost?
maybe.
That's that Omar stuff's pretty terrible too.
Yeah, he's not very good.
Not at all.
Awful.
He can't move. He's just an 8 foot tall freaking green as doesn't know anything. It's
Here,
almost
too.
like they
Here
they
too.
were just like, hey, this guy's 8 feet tall. We don't need to train him. Let's just throw him out there.
Sure. Why not?
I think they forgot, no, he's gonna have to work at some point.
And AJ Styles can't even make him look good.
Nope. No, we can't.
Because that was supposed to be on the day one pay-per-view, right?
They're supposed to do it on the Raw before,
Yeah.
and they pulled him off the show because of the problem at MSG.
And then they did it the next.
And then he
Raw,
brought back.
next week.
They brought him back this week for it. I didn't see the match or even hear how it was, but all I heard it wasn't very good.
No, I
Not-
skipped
It wasn't terrible,
it.
but it wasn't good either.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what
which
they.
should tell you something. If one of the better wrestlers that they have can't even make them look decent, that's
Right.
an issue.
I mean, think about it too, though. Like even when they were a tag team, most of their offense was him throwing AJ at
Yep.
someone,
Right.
Yep.
and then AJ just doing all the
work, and then
work.
tag him in at the end. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was very slow. It was very slow, but not like methodical slow. It was just slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with AJ. It seems like they're just kind of screwing him around at this point.
And they got that stupid Grayson Waller thing still. I guess
I would
they're
say he's
finally
gonna
going to
have
have the match this week.
So they, if I'm not mistaken, they were promoting it for the last NXT show, the
Yep.
New Year's Evil,
Mm-hmm.
and then AJ comes out. He's in his gear,
Yep.
and then Waller comes out wearing street clothes, and it's
Mhm.
like, well, he's like, yeah, we're gonna do it next week. It's like, well, why wouldn't you? Why? Like,
Maybe AJ got hurt.
Almost hurt him.
Maybe,
Who knows?
yeah.
Maybe. You never know. Yeah, I don't know.
Just-
They moved it back a week, and it's just because.
I don't know. That whole thing's just honestly, I just can't watch it. It's bad. Like I was watching it for a while.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I mean, I watched the main event because I like Ciampa, and for some reason I was hoping that maybe he'd win. But like I said, once I saw that giant X in the middle of the entranceway, and he just kicks
Did
it in half.
they ever show Rick in the crowd before
No.
during the match at all? No.
Nope.
Okay.
No,
I know he
but-
was there.
Yeah,
I
he was
wondering
there.
if they showed him or anything.
No. They posted a video like afterwards, like once the cameras went off the air, that he came in the ring like with Braun and was celebrating or whatever, and Tommaso came over at one point, shook his hand, and like walked
That
out.
was before he left, right? Before
Right.
Rick got in the ring. He went over there and shook his hand and talked to him for a minute or two and then left. And then Rick came in the ring. Mm-hmm.
Braun actually had his dad's boots on for the
Oh,
the
really?
show. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, he was wearing his old Rick Stein, like when he was what was it when it was Scott Steiner was Big Papa Pump, and then Rick Steiner was he was always the dog faced gremlin, but that's when he had like the
The
he
dog face
did-
gremlin outfit and all that.
Yeah,
And
like
the
he-
colored
the colored goatee,
Okay.
and like
Mhm.
it was like and everything said "bite me" on it and whatnot.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it was later years.
Yeah, it was like the later years.
Mhm.
So yeah, it was those boots. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Fit into them.
The other thing I thought was weird was Braun. He's been wearing the quote unquote Steiner like singlet,
Yeah.
and he comes out on the show Tuesday wearing just a black singlet that just said Breaker on it, and it was like,
Really?
why? You've been wearing this, especially considering he's like his singlet is pretty much the logo.
Yeah.
At this point.
Right.
So yeah, that was weird. There was just a lot of telegraphed wrestling this week, I guess. That was just, I don't know. It was like too obvious.
A lot of lazy booking.
Lazy booking.
Happens too much sometimes.
Yep.
William Regal has spoken about his release, and he was kind with his words, as you would expect.
That will serve your overlords well.
What did he say? Anything of importance?
No, he just said, well,
Just thanking everybody, blah, blah, blah.
he said, thank you to the WWE for a wonderful 21-year run. You gave a lad who was happy and in Wonderland Wrestling on a carnival have a charmed life for 21 years. No complaints. And please, don't waste your time replying, as I won't have a bad word said against the company. I will add that the WWE saved my life in 1999 when they didn't need to, kept my family fed, took me all around the world. You have my gratitude forever. You allowed me to live a charmed life.
Professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Does Regal go to AEW? Think he'd be pretty good backstage there.
No, he's a real good scout of talent.
He
That
would
was
be.
a major thing
I would
he
think
did
he would
with
be a
NXT.
good commentary person. Like, forget this Mark Henry and like all this other guys. I think William Regal could possibly be a good voice for a promotion.
I mean, I
Maybe.
could see that, but I just feel like you just have way too many commentators at this point.
Way too many.
I think he'd just be happy being backstage helping and do stuff.
That's what I mean. He's, like a Jerry Lynn or something, just
Mhm.
have him be a coach or a producer or whatever they're called in AEW.
Well, he
You
would
know?
definitely like the coach for sure. I could see that.
Mhm.
And he knows how to scout talent. I mean, you can send him anywhere and he can find somebody that would work.
I do. I wonder who's gonna take all the fill those positions that all the Triple H guys are leaving in NXT right now.
Good call. I don't
You know
know.
what I mean? It's just it's just gonna be more.
Bruce Pritchard.
They're probably going to hire agents and production people and Hollywood type people.
Mhm.
They're not a professional wrestling company.
Not anymore.
They haven't been in a long time. This is just an inevitable transition into just social media entertainment. They're just not a wrestling company. They won't let you say pro wrestling.
Yep. It's one of the bad words.
Like mofo.
How can you watch wrestling and not have it called wrestling? I mean, that's just doesn't make any sense to me.
I mean, it's still in their name.
Mhm.
World
Because they
Wrestling
have to.
Entertainment. Right.
I bet if there's a way for them not to do it, they would change it.
But notice how they don't refer to themselves as World Wrestling Entertainment. It's
Right.
WWE
It's
and
just
WWE
right.
only. It's like,
Someday it might just be WWE and not actually stand for anything anymore.
Yeah.
right.
Like the XFL.
You are in rare form tonight.
It's the COVID talking.
But yeah, no, they're not going to replace someone like Regal with another worker, even if it's Ciampa.
They got their nil program. They don't need to.
Right. They're just going to have someone like Bloom will still be there to teach the basics.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a Ciampa will be there to help.
And Michaels is there all the time.
Yep. But then you're going to have your production team and your...
Is Norman Smiley still there?
Don't know.
He's been there in a while.
Not sure. Somebody that's still there that was a Triple H guy is Carino still, Steve Carino.
They just got rid of his sister, so he might be...
After she just moved from Vegas.
Yeah, I was going to say, they did her dirty.
Totally. Mm-hmm.
Didn't her kid just go to a new school that day?
Just started there.
Yep. First day of school.
First day.
Awful.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Norman Smiley's still there.
It's hard. I don't know who's there and who's not anymore. That's why Scotty Too Hotty said that's why he left, because he knew the writing was on the wall. He could see it coming from a distance, so that's why he resigned or asked for his release before he got fired.
Smart.
I don't know, but they going to give you a package, right? Like, I don't know how they do it. I know most places when they lay you off or release you, you get a little bit of a package out of the deal.
All it is you get paid for that 90 days, or in NXT's case, you get paid for 30 days.
Jesus.
That's all there is. That's all that's guaranteed is 30 days on your contract.
Sprint gave me 2 weeks for every year I worked there.
So if you sign like a 5-year deal like Owens did or whatever, and they release them, doesn't matter. You just get that 90 days of pay. That's it. Even though you just re-signed.
Give you
2 weeks for every year I worked there. I
I
worked
thought you
there
said
for
2 years for every year where you worked.
No,
Wow.
no,
I might be
2 weeks.
retired.
That's the best job ever.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
2 weeks. So I got.
I got to go to Sprint tomorrow.
Yeah.
I got 12 weeks out of it, and I had a job the Monday after our last day,
Wow.
so I was double dipping.
Nice.
That's what she said. Nostradamus.
That was
That wasn't even an observation at this point.
that was something that happened like 13 years ago. I mean,
So what else? Was there anything else crazy happened this week?
Ray Phoenix lost his arm. Can we talk about that?
No, I don't want to talk about it. We already did. It
He's
was terrible.
back in 3 weeks.
He's
Awesome.
back tonight, and it's a taped show.
So what about where do people think Samoa Joe's going to wind up?
I mean, I feel like
I'm assuming he's going to. They basically said that he wasn't an in-ring performer anymore, and they moved him over to a coach.
Mm.
And
Do you think
he says
Well,
he doesn't
AEW
wanna
offered
stay
him
that
more
way.
money.
Well, that's my question. Does he call Tony back up and say, look, hey, remember that conversation we had?
He
Any
could,
chance
but he might not get that money though now.
Oh,
now is it his choice that he's no longer an in-ring performer, or was that WWE?
WWE, that was WWE's choice.
Okay,
Same
so
with
yeah.
Timothy Thatcher. They said Timothy Thatcher is not an active in-ring performer anymore. You're now just designated as a coach. And Danny Burch was the same way. They were released as coaches, not as in-ring performers.
So
Even though they brought Joe back as an in-ring performer, they moved it.
And gave him the title.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
that was still some of the most bizarre.
I
yep.
still don't get it.
Why even bring him back?
I don't know.
Just
Triple
6
H
months
still
later,
had
you just
pull at that
released
Think
point.
about that. You fire him.
Mm-hmm.
He comes back 2 weeks later,
Yep.
has a program with the champion,
Mm-hmm.
wins the championship, relinquishes the title. 6 months later, he's gone.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's and the guy he beat is gone. Yeah,
Right.
it's
Two other death blows to Triple H NXT.
I don't know.
Mhm.
And it's funny too because like everyone sits there and like, oh, you guys WWE, and it's like, I don't want WWE. Like I used to enjoy their product. It's
Yeah.
what I grew up on.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like I don't want it to be garbage, but right now it's just so hard to watch it.
It's unwatchable.
It's not entertaining.
No, it
It's
isn't.
not. It not only just is that 100% true, but it's the thing that they did to Carino with the whole what we just talked about with the kids starting the new school like what that day of that week, and then
That
they
day.
cut her.
That
It's like they
It
knew,
was that day.
and
day
they
one
knew
of
that
school.
she moved over here and put her kid in a new school, and then they release her. Look, if you're gonna release her, do it before they move.
Right.
They did that with Lance Storm. Remember,
Yep.
Lance Storm
Mhm.
moved to wherever. He shut down his school.
Yes.
3 months.
Right.
3 months later,
Mhm.
he was gone.
Yep.
I mean, they man, they're like the mob sometimes. The way they'll screw with you.
Seems that way.
I mean, this is the same company. I always bring up CM Punk, but this is the same company that ultimately released him on his wedding day.
Hmm.
It's like they just have this, I don't know, this bully mentality.
Well, it's
And-
weird that they don't remember certain contract lengths, but they remember certain days, like you said, a wedding or a like, dudes. Yeah, that's kind
I
of.
mean, at the time when he got released on his wedding, AJ was still there, right?
Yeah,
Like she was
Yeah,
still
she was
taking
still
time
around.
off.
Yep. Right.
So that's
Mhm.
I mean, was
So they got the reminder there, I guess.
They
right.
knew. They knew. Wasn't a coincidence.
I don't know. It's just the product itself is terrible, and then you hear stories like that, and you see things like that, and it's just
Right. Someone put it in the chat the other day. There's a goddamn crowbar on a pole match coming up.
Yep.
Like
Mhm.
it's 2021. We're still doing matches
They announced that for what this week's
next
show,
week.
I think.
Next
Mhm.
next Tuesday.
Mhm.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
crowbar and a pole match.
Well, speaking of Sammy, and once again, I hate talking about this, but I just like, you know, that he breaks up with his fiance, announces it on Twitter. Like
Mhm.
honestly, at this point, I was thinking like that's the only reason he announced that him and his fiance broke up is because he knew it's like New Year's Eve's coming up, and I gotta post.
People are gonna know.
I gotta post
100%.
couples pictures.
Yeah.
You know, there's no way I can't post Twitter about my New Year's Eve, and if Tay Conti's in all my pictures, obviously something's gonna know.
And they were already in each other's pictures, though, leading up to that. I
Right.
think you're right, though. I think it was,
It's exactly what happened.
yeah.
Like I said, I hate the fact that this is it. But my thing is, you know, it's like he posed that thing, and it's like, you know, please respect our privacy and our private life and blah blah blah, and like all this stuff. And then like 2 days later, he's like, look at my hot bitch, Happy New Year's. You know what I mean? And it's just like, well, you know, what happened to last week, or you know, when you just like, please respect our privacy, and you know, it's like, what's her face friggin' deleted her Twitter and stuff for God,
Like
you know, whatever.
3 days.
Yeah,
Mhm.
3 days, then she's back.
There's a lot going on there. Like when I saw him like get engaged, I was like, wait a second. And then just like it went downhill from there. It just didn't seem like they were.
I mean, I don't think
couple.
he definitely shouldn't have did that on TV.
No.
No.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
That's right, John Cena.
You know, but even that, you
Hey,
know
I'm on the
what?
WWE network for that.
They were still.
Oh, yeah.
You're on the WWE network for that.
Yeah, on the 24/7 WrestleMania where he gets married. It's my voice, but I asked John Cena the question, you're going down to the ring at WrestleMania, but will you be bringing a ring? And then he smiles, and then they go to the
He does one of these.
right, and then they go to him proposing to Miss Bella.
How
Which,
much
by the way,
How much did they pay you for that?
0.0. I was there. Well, they paid
That's
me.
why it hasn't been released yet.
Right. No,
give
they.
you
Free
I was
network
there.
membership.
they let you be a
Yeah.
seat filler.
No, I was there. I was there. I was there. I was there interviewing John Cena because he was doing his 500th Make a Wish that
We'll
day in
let you ask
Orlando.
this question, but if you ever do a podcast, you can never say anything bad about us, our product, or any of our workers. We are your God.
Yes, Vince.
That's right. We're your God. That's again, that's the past. It doesn't. By the way, the Bellas are in the Royal Rumble as well.
Oh, fantastic! I
Oh,
love
yeah.
them.
both.
Yes, they both will be there.
That's one spot.
They have to they have to wrestle the whole time on one each other's shoulders like a chicken fight.
Exactly.
It's going to be interesting because numbers are hard for them. That didn't go the way I wanted it to.
What else can they get? I mean, if there's no NXT girls, that's probably what they'll do, right? Is just
So
fill
Victoria
up that.
will show up, even though she retired. I'm sure she'll get out there for 5 minutes.
What's Tori doing? There's Tori Wilson, and then there's the other Tori that was with X-Pac.
No idea.
We'll get
Oh
her
wow,
there.
yeah.
Well, they've got Alexa Bliss coming back this week, and then Bailey's still there. Who's she hasn't been out. I mean, I know she got hurt,
Oh,
but I bet
injured.
she's probably one of the names coming back.
should be number 30,
Could be.
That would be a good 30.
and then you win the whole thing.
They're not mentioning her, but I'm pretty sure she's supposed around. I thought they said around Survivor Series or early December she was supposed to be ready to go.
That makes
Where's
sense.
she been? Pregnant?
No,
She
she was
got
hurt.
Yeah,
She like tore like her ACL or something, right?
yeah, like complete ACL restructure. Yeah.
Well, maybe she could get in the ring and toss somebody out enough to get
pregnant.
like two more months
no strict
out of the way.
Nah, see, I don't. If she's not fully ready to go,
Pregnant?
I don't think they'll put her in there.
Yeah, they wouldn't put her in there. You have to get cleared now by the crazy doctors.
They could hire Big Swole.
Nope, it has to be a nil per
Nope.
someone from the nil group there.
Oh, they got those two twins.
The twins.
It'd have to be somebody that isn't like a known person to go in there. Someone just random.
What's
NXT member.
remember the female version of was it Gable Steveson? I forget her name,
Yeah, I
but
don't
she
know
was
the name.
she won the
Mhm.
gold medal. Right? Isn't she signed as well?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
They could, yeah. I mean, I guess if they really wanted to, they could totally fill 30 people. But it's
What about The Rock's daughter?
she kind of
I
just
heard
does
she's
nothing.
not ready
Huh?
yet.
I mean, she's been there for what, 2 years?
Good amount
It's
of
kind
time.
of like his
yeah.
cousin.
They could bring her back.
She's
Ugh.
not a blue chipper.
Ugh.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that the other day. It's like they made kind of like a big deal of it, and then there's really nothing to it after that. She's just, I mean, I don't know, because they don't. It's not like they do like the coconut loop anymore,
Right. they don't.
and most of their, if I'm not mistaken, right, the performance center is basically just set up for NXT right now.
Mhm. Yep, it is.
I mean, do they even have classes? Are they still training?
I assume so.
I mean, especially if you're just releasing everybody.
So let's see. Last year they had Jillian Hull, Victoria, and Alicia Fox as free agents that were in the Rumble.
And this year
Alicia
already there's
Fox.
yeah, I forgot about her. There's
Jesus.
already about 8 or 9 that are quote unquote free agents in the Royal
Oh,
Rumble.
they'd have to. I think somebody was saying they only had like 13 ladies on the main roster between both brands right now.
It's too bad because they had a lot of good girls on that roster. Tegan Knox, friggin' Tony Storm.
2 years
Ruby
ago, they
Soho.
had Santina Marella as one of the ladies in the Rumble.
course they did.
What's
Brings
wrong
up-
with Santina Morella? How dare you?
Did they announce Beth Phoenix yet?
No, I'm
The
sure
Rumble
she'll be in there
She's in
too.
the tag match.
In that tag match, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm sure she'll end up in the Rumble though.
When they realize they need one more.
Was it last year when she busted her head open? No, that was
2 years ago.
Two, right?
She's a bloody mess.
Mhm.
I'm kind of looking forward to this Rumble now. I just want to see what kind of a train wreck it's going to be. And who they have win it, because at this point, it just doesn't seem like. I mean, do you have Sasha? She hasn't won it yet.
Well,
Where the hell's Asuka been?
There you go.
no, there's a name. She's been hurt, but I'm
Has
sure
she?
she's cleared. She's been on Instagram always showing herself training now, so I think she's ready to come back. She did something to her neck during the summer.
Oh, okay. I just thought she was just, in that say like a Samoa Joe kind of situation where they just kept her off TV.
She had gotten hurt, but I don't know like what her status is. They're not about to tell you anyway.
Right.